Okay, there's no music. There's no soundtrack to my presentation, so the brother kind of spoiled y'all early. Early music. Right? Let me ask you a question. This is a sales organization, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, here's my question. And I kind of take things, I'm going to take you to the edge, but I'm not going to go over the edge. So let me kind of warn you ahead of time. All right? Let me ask a simple question. What's the world's oldest profession? Anybody?
Prostitution.
Wrong.
Sales.
Sales is the world's oldest profession. Because what do the prostitutes do? What's the first product? See? Right? So that's my icebreaker. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. You know, like I said, I'm going to take it to the edge, but I'm not going to necessarily go over the edge. I kind of been in sales a really long time, longer than I even realized I was in sales. As a matter of fact, I hated sales. I hated it. I managed a karate school in 1996, and one of my assignments or one of my responsibilities was to always have the pads for the parents to come and buy the pads, and I had to renew the contracts. I had to bring people in the office to get more. I just hated asking people for money, and that's all I thought sales was. And I realized that everything we do is sales. You apply for a job, you're selling. You want to get somebody to like you, you're selling. Everything is sales. Now, with sales, and you guys may be a little bit more experienced than I am in sales, but answer me this one question. Is it good to push in sales? Yeah, it depends, right? It depends, because sometimes it could be a hard sell. You might push the customer or the client over the edge or what have you. Well, what I'm going to share with you right now, I have a few things to share with you. What I'm going to share with you right now is my idea of how to push. And it's not pushing the customer, it's not pushing the client, it's pushing yourself. So we're going to talk about push. This is a 4-step process, right? I'm going to run through this really quick. The first step, provide quality customer service. Mind you what? Provide quality customer service, all right? I can't tell you how many times I've been in a restaurant, and I'm sure you've experienced this as well. You've been in a restaurant or you've called a company to get some help, and you get lost in a maze of dial this number, get this extension, all of that. Or you go to a restaurant, the waitress or the waiter has a snotty attitude. Everybody's experienced this. So being sales professionals, you know what you don't want for yourselves. So you obviously want to provide quality customer service to your clients. I remember a movie I was watching where a rapper goes into a luxury car dealership with his boy, and there's a black salesman and there's a white salesman. And the black salesman goes, yes, I'm going to get this commission, just watch. All right? And he starts running off at the mouth, rambling all kinds of stuff to the rapper in the car. And at the end of it all, he looks at the white salesman, and the white salesman just tosses him the keys. So he says, yeah, this is the one I want. So the black salesman goes, yeah, well, okay, let's go in the back and do the paperwork. He's like, nah. Looked at his boy, and his man tossed a big bag load of cash. And right before he drove the car off the sales floor, he says, make sure he gets the commission. Sometimes providing quality customer service is just making that connection with the needs of the customer or client. So I want to stress that, the importance of providing quality customer service. Going forward with that, the U, under promise, over deliver. I live by this. I live by this. Here's a perfect example. Let's say you're contracted to complete an assignment with someone and it takes you 3 days to do. Now, you could complete that assignment or that contract in 3 days and that person will be happy. But imagine if you told them that it would take you 5 days to do it and you completed it in 3 days. How impressed with you would that customer or that client be? Under promise, over deliver. By doing this, what you're doing is you're creating a reputation and a work habit where people begin to say, hey, I went to this guy and he always or she always comes through early on me. She always comes through. If she tells me 5 days, I get it in 3. If she tells me 2 days, I get it in 1. They don't have to know that it takes you however long it takes you. Perfect example. I'm a big geek when it comes to like old TV shows. I'm not a Trekkie with the costume and everything, but I love Star Trek, okay? There was an episode where there was Scotty from the old series and Geordie LaForge, the brother from Roots with the visor, in case y'all don't familiar with it. And he asked me, he said, how long did you tell the captain it would take to fix the engine? 7 hours. How long is it gonna take you? 7 hours. It's like, no, starship captains are like babies. They want what they want when they want it. But you run the ship. You tell him it's going to take you 18 hours and you do it in 7. And he's going to think you're a miracle worker. I'm telling you, if you under-promise and over-deliver, you will create a reputation for yourself as being a miracle worker, and your sales will gradually increase. S, sell the sizzle, not the steak. Right? You can get a steak at Denny's, you can get a steak at IHOP, or you can go to some gourmet steakhouse someplace. The only thing that's different is the atmosphere, the environment. You're willing to pay more for that atmosphere and that environment. So what happens if you're selling a product and somebody's selling a similar product and yours is more expensive? They're gonna ask you, why should I give you my money when I can get this for less? So that's when you sell the sizzle. You see, the sizzle is the idea, the environment you create in their mind, the value you give them. It's all about adding value, okay? So you gotta give them that idea. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. They can get the steak anywhere. They can get your product. You just said, I can get your product over here for cheap. Why should I go to you? When you create that value in their mind, when you paint that picture in their mind, that's gonna be the difference between you getting your commission and somebody else getting your commission. And finally, the H in push, and this is by far the most important factor of this process. Humble yourself. Right? Humility is not the same thing as humiliation. We talked about poor customer service. How many times have we been on the other end of that and we just had to deal with somebody who got an attitude? For whatever reason, it just wasn't their day, and you're the poor soul that happened to catch this person. I know I've called companies for like help or what have you, the phone company, the cable company, what have you, and I would be steaming. But I would also, at the end of getting everything off my chest, sternly but politely, I would even apologize to the person. Look, you know what? I know you're just doing your job. You just happen to be the poor soul that caught me today. All right? You're going to deal with people who are going to have attitudes. I mean, we're in sales, so we know rejection goes with the territory. But what are you going to do? Family still got to get fed. The lights still got to be kept on. Bills still got to get paid. So it doesn't really help you to go off on somebody. Now, I'm sure my wife is going to see this because I'm recording it. And she's going to say, you just went off on a school bus driver yesterday. Yeah, she had that coming. Sometimes people have it coming, and sometimes you gotta let loose, okay? So she had that coming. I was humble the first time I told her what the problem was. I was humble the second time I told her what the problem was. Obviously, she wasn't getting the message. Like the joke goes, what do you tell somebody with 2 black eyes? You don't tell them nothing. Obviously, they didn't get the message the first 2 times you told them, okay? No, but you humble yourself. Sometimes you gotta take a little crap. That's okay. It's like the secret shopper in the retail industry. They'll send somebody in the store to be an irate customer to see how the sales staff and the customer service staff handles that person. They'll send somebody in the store to go do a fraudulent refund to see if they won't catch it. So you never know. So it's not so much how the other person started the altercation or whatever it is. It's how you end it that's going to stick with people. So remember, push, provide quality customer service, under-promise, over-deliver, sell the sizzle, not the steak, and humble yourself. There's no shame in humbling yourself.